Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, when I start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to our brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to the sincere Akwath. And Shalom to the scattered Israelites who are amongst these heathen nations and look like these heathens. Now this is going to be a quick lesson, just a quick update in regards to this U.S.-Iran war. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and the Lord's will, you're edified. It says, new U.S. aggression will be resolutely thwarted. It says, an Iranian official says the U.S. threat of a massive assault at any moment will be met resolutely, and Iran is prepared to confront any military aggression. U.S. President Donald Trump says he postponed a planned attack on Iran at the request of Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, and serious negotiations are taking place. And it's like, how many times have we heard this? And at the end of the day, this is only happening because this is what the Lord wants. Because the end is not yet. There are still some prophecies that have to come to pass first before the Lord allows this war to go nuclear. It says the U.S. president says his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping has promised me that he is not sending any weapons to Iran. Said that's a beautiful promise. I take him at his word. I appreciate it, he told reporters at the White House. Said Beijing last month rejected what it called groundless reports alleging that China was planning to send weapons to Iran. It says academic Abdullah Bandar Salakia says the current standoff over the Strait of Hormuz has reached a dangerous deadlock, with neither Washington nor Tehran ready to climb down. We are actually hitting stagnation at the moment, an assistant professor in international affairs at Qatar University told Al Jazeera. Both parties want a better deal, a good deal they can sell to their domestic audiences as having gained something. And this is the problem. Both see themselves as victorious. This is what they think. Effective talks require both parties giving concessions, noting we need to either go to escalation to have someone losing, or we go for the first scenario where mediation works. Said there's mistrust really at the bottom of things here as well, and who could perhaps provide the guarantees so that this does not happen again, that the U.S. is not going to start bombing Iran again in the middle of mediation. And I'm glad that this person actually pointed that out and called it like it was. This is the second time that during peace talks, the U.S. and Israel bombed Iran. And that's part of why they can't really come to any peace agreement, because the Iranians are not in the mood to do this a third time. They're not in the mood to come to the table and be serious about peace talks and negotiations, only to turn around and have the U.S. bombing them again. And then they end up right back at square one. They don't want to keep doing that again. And there is no guarantees that it won't play out that way. So it's just going to be a constant back and forth. They're going to sit down and have these peace talks, then that's going to fall apart. Then they're going to threaten each other with, attacks again. And then they're going to come back to the table, and then it's going to fall apart again. It's just going to go back and forth and back and forth. And that's why the scriptures tell us that we have to be patient. Because It's going to keep going back and forth until the Lord is ready for it to just go full blown. Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And that's right. That vision of nuclear war is for an appointed time. The Lord has set everything up for an appointed time. The famines, the civil wars, the race wars, the mark of the beast being implemented, the nuclear war taking place. Everything is set up for a specific day, a specific hour, and we're not there yet. That's why things are tarrying. That's why things seem to be, just at a standstill. There seems to be no real progress happening with this war because it's not time yet for things to get as active as the Lord is going to allow them to, in order for this story to come to a conclusion. Like it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, which means be patient, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And the Lord is not a man that he should lie. So if he says he's going to do something, best believe he's going to do it. But he's going to do it when he set it up to happen. The Lord is bound by his word. He's not going to say, oh, it's going to happen at this particular time, and then, or say that, these are the signs you should look out for, which would lead up to that ultimate event happening, and then turn around and change it. The Lord does not change. Whatever he says is going to happen, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen in the order which he set it up. We just have to continue to watch and be patient and trust that the Lord is going to make good on his word when he said that he was going to do what he said he was going to do. The Lord is the one who will never disappoint you. If he says he's going to do something, it's going to happen because he's the Heavenly Father. He's the Most High. He can do whatever he wants. There's nobody that can stop him. There's nothing that can happen that's going to make him put off what he said he was going to do. It says patience is frequently tied to endurance, long suffering, and trusting in God's timing. It is portrayed as a virtue that matures faith and leads to spiritual completeness. And that's right. We have to trust in Yahweh's timing. He has everything set up perfectly. Everything is happening exactly how he wants it to, in exactly what order he wants it to happen in. We just have to trust that and be patient and continue to endure. Endure this long suffering. Endure having to be surrounded by these heathens and these wicked 2/3, and endure having Esau ruling over us. We have to endure being vexed with the filthy conversation of these simple-minded, wicked people day in and day out. We have to continue to endure this. It's not fun, but when you understand what we will receive in the end, if we endure unto the end, it's all worth it. Luke 21:19, in your patience possess ye your souls. And that's right, we have to continue to be patient. We can't get all upset and angry and agitated and end up crashing out. Because the scriptures say those who put their hand to the plow and look back are not fit for the kingdom. So you can't put your hand to the plow and start doing this work and start enduring in this faith and then turn around and be like, oh, I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of being patient. And then you go back into the world, because then the Lord is going to destroy you. You know, it takes a lot of strength to just keep enduring, you know, day in and day out, week after week, month after month, year after year, knowing what's going to happen. But it seems like it's taking its time happening. You know, we have to just accept that this is what it is. You know, this is the pace that the Lord has set for things to happen in. And we just have to be along for the ride. Let things play out the way that the Lord intends for them to play out. And the thing is, when you're patient, you know, you're calm. You know, you're not stressed out. And things are just easier. It says, by your patience possess your souls, is a profound reminder to maintain inner peace. By practicing patient endurance, you protect your mind, will, and emotions from being scattered by anxiety, fear, or the desire for immediate control. And that's right. And that's the problem with a lot of people. A lot of people want that instant gratification. They want things to happen right then and there when they want it to. And that's not how that works. You don't decide when things happen. The Heavenly Father decides when things happen. And if He wants you to wait 20 years for something to happen, then you're going to wait. You have to wait. Plain and simple. You may not like it, but that's the way that the Heavenly Father set it up. You know, a prime example of that is the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. They've been doing this for decades, having to endure year after year, knowing how this story, you know, this wicked society of Esau's is supposed to end. You know, they've been enduring in season and out of season for decades. You know, for over 20 years in some cases. And they're still pushing. They still have the faith, you know. They're still enduring. They're still being patient. And they've been doing this longer than any of the rest of us. They're a prime example of how we're supposed to be moving in this faith. You know, we got to stay cool, calm, and collected. Because, like it says here, it says, by practicing patient endurance, you protect your mind, will, and emotions from being scattered by anxiety, fear, or the desire for immediate control. When you understand that you're not in control of anything and that the Lord is in control of everything and that He's going to make things happen on His own time, and that all you have to do is just be patient and just stick to the script, you know, you're not stressing yourself out. You don't have any anxiety. You don't have any fear. You don't have any desire for immediate control, because you know that this is the Lord's program. He's the one, you know, that's, you know, driving the bus, or whatever analogy you'd want to use. You know, you don't have to worry about anything except just staying in this faith, enduring unto the end. That's really all you got to focus on. The Lord, He's taking care of literally everything else. You know, because there are some people that do get frustrated because they're like, you know, if this war was going to kick off and go full blown and go nuclear, why hasn't it happened already? Because the Lord doesn't want it to happen right now. Like I said, there's still some other things that have to come to pass first. There has to be an economic collapse. There has to be famines. There has to be, another set of lockdowns. There has to be civil war and race wars. The mark of the beast has to be fully implemented. There's things that have to happen first. The nuclear war and the annihilation of America, that's the cherry on top of the cake. That's how it all ends. That's the final piece. But the other pieces haven't come together yet. So that final piece can't get put into place. But best believe it's going to happen. Exodus 15:3. The Lord Yahweh is a man of war. The Lord Yahweh is his name. Yeah, the Heavenly Father, he is a man of war. That's why this whole thing is kicked off in the first place. Because the same way that the so-called self-proclaimed white man Esau came into power through war and violence is going to be the same way that the Lord removes him from power. The very weapons that Esau has created through the inspiration of the Lord to use against these other nations, the Lord is going to allow these other nations to use those same weapons against Esau. Esau is going to fall by his own creations, by his own weapons. That's the way that the Lord has set things up to happen. And a lot of people just don't understand that. So we just have to continue to be patient. We have to continue to watch the news, watch what's going on, watch how things are playing out. We have to continue to be circumspect, pay attention to what's going on around you. Continue to be patient. Just accept that the Lord has everything set up the way that he wants it to be. And everything is going to play out according to his schedule and how he has arranged for things to manifest. It's not up to you. It's not up to me. It's up to the Heavenly Father. It always has been, and it always will be. Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Verse 8, Slakia. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. And we are in a time of war. We are definitely in a time of war. We are in a time of civil wars, race wars, and ultimately world war. And all of these different wars are going to take place when the Lord has set them up to. But like it says in Proverbs 22:3, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Those of us of the hopeful elect, through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we are the prudent. We are the wise. We are the ones that have been blessed with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures. We know what's going to happen. We know that there's about to be a lot of chaos popping off all throughout the world, more so than what we're already seeing. We know, for lack of a better term, that shit is about to hit the fan. So we're hiding ourselves, under the Lord's hedge of protection. Meanwhile, you have all these simple-minded people that are like, oh, summer's coming. I'm going to go on vacation, and I'm going to go here and go there and do this and do that. They're completely ignoring all the signs. They're ignoring the signs. They're ignoring the warnings because they don't think that these things are going to happen. And those are going to be the same people that when all hell inevitably breaks loose, they're going to be crying when they get stuck somewhere that they didn't want to be, when everything is falling apart for them, and there is no relief. Because like it says in Isaiah 48:22, there is no peace, saith the Lord Yahweh, unto the wicked. These wicked people, they wanna play around, they wanna constantly provoke the Lord unto wrath. Well, the Lord is gonna continuously pour out many great miseries upon them. He's gonna continue to make them struggle and suffer. And that's good for them. That's them reaping what they've sown, since they think everything is all fun and games when it absolutely is not. Meanwhile, the Lord is going to continue to protect and preserve those of us of the hopeful elect who are focusing on the truth, focusing on serving the Lord fervently and diligently, and focusing on enduring unto the end. Adawan Ratzazah, that is our lot. And we have been chosen from the foundation of the world to endure unto the end and ultimately be saved from all the calamities and ultimately that nuclear destruction that the Lord has set up. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakudash, the water Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to our brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to the sincere Akwath, which are the sincere sisters, and shalom to the scattered Israelites who are amongst these heathen nations and look like these heathen nations. Hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up, and Adawan Ratazah. Till next time, Shalom.